Hello, everyone, and welcome to this broadcast on the Pilgrim Story Hour. We are live on Google Plus and on YouTube. My name is Mony Dojeiji, and I'm happy to be bringing you this episode this week on dreams. And I want to talk to you about the kinds of dreams that sometimes come up, especially when we are on pilgrimage. Obviously, dreams happen all the time. We're continually dreaming. And when we're on pilgrimage, though, something unique seems to happen. And I've heard this happen among other pilgrims as well. And one of the things that I believe happens is that as we are walking, as we are outside of our daily routines, and as we are focused on nothing more than simply walking, the body becomes accustomed, our mind seems to open up a little bit more. We start to have conversations with people that perhaps we haven't had before. And of course, I believe that the energy of the Camino is one that is very powerful and ultimately is one that is grounded in love. And so when we are walking, it seems as if there is an elixir, a magic elixir of all kinds of happenstance events that really become the fertile ground for dreams to happen, for whatever it is that is not digested or spoken of in our conscious waking mind or our conscious days, whether it's speaking with different people and having different experiences. When we are at rest, all that has happened in your day or all that is happening somehow gets percolated down into your subconscious. And so it begins, I believe, to speak to us in the language and in the symbolism of dreams. Now, dreams is such a huge topic, and I'm not, qualified to sit here and talk about all the aspects of it, but I do believe that the symbols and the language of dreams are very personal. And so the work becomes to interpret what that dreams and what that symbolism means to you. For example, a dog in my dream could be something incredibly terrifying, but a dog in your dream may mean something entirely different that you are. It may mean loyalty, it may mean friendship, it may mean many things. And so, although there are some universal understandings and interpretations of dreams, I do believe that there are some that are very personal. And only through your lens and the lens of your experiences can you give meaning to each of these symbols. So the dream I'm going to tell you today actually didn't happen on the Camino first. This dream happened when I was walking to Jerusalem. And it happened in Turkey. Now, I had so many dreams all along the Camino, and I wrote everything down. Actually, I got into the habit of writing down all of my dreams. And in fact, if you are walking now or thinking of going on a walk, and I would highly encourage you to start recording your dreams, start writing them down. They may not make sense in the moment, but I can promise you they will make sense when you look at them later on. Now, this dream, as I say, was happening when we were walking to Jerusalem. It was in Turkey. We had been walking, and I'm looking at my diary over here. This is my diary from the way, one of the diaries from the way. And it was now October the 1st, and we had been walking for over 300 days. And we had arrived in Cyprus. And we had taken a boat to Cyprus only because our 3-month visas in Turkey had expired. And they told us the fastest way to renew your visa was to leave the country, leave Turkey, go to Cyprus, the nearest country, and then come back inside again and get your new visa, which is how we did it. And it was at a time when I was going through a lot of personal questioning. It was a time of when you would think that I would have a lot more clarity after having walked for, 300 days. I would have some clarity about, who I am and my walk and what I'm doing and confidence in what I was saying. I was having the opposite experience. It felt that the entire universe was really conspiring to say to me, you need to go deeper into your spiritual beliefs. You need to have the courage. You need to have faith. You need to be able to speak openly and with confidence about what it is that you are living through on the inner planes, and that the answers to all that you want to have in your world, in your experience, in your life, all of it really is on the inside. You must begin on the inside. And although I believe that on one level, I do believe that very deeply, actually, which is why I was walking. I felt that peace, all that we want to see in the world begins within. I wasn't necessarily ready to start to go even deeper, and less, even less, to start talking about it. I already felt a little bit isolated from my old life. I worked in corporate Canada and corporate America. I worked at Microsoft head office in Toronto and in the US in Redmond. And I came from a very, structured, very well laid out life. And I had taken a big step in quitting everything and embarking on this quest to understand my life, and ultimately what would be a spiritual quest to really understand, who am I? Why am I here? What am I to do with my life? And they already thought I was pretty pretty out there. She's really changed a lot. But I had always kept my language with them neutral, saying that I'm just walking, to find myself, to create what it is that, I'm trying to find clarity in my life, find purpose in my life. But not to all of a sudden come out and say, my spiritual beliefs are this. And I truly believe that if we want to create any big fundamental changes in the world, we must really go within very deeply and begin to entrench all the beliefs that we have about the God, which to me is love. Entrench that within us and bring that out into the world. I wanted to say that. I truly believe that, but I lacked faith in that, and I definitely lacked courage. And so that kind of gives you a little bit of the backdrop of the dream, the dream that I'm going to share with you. And I'll tell you a funny story. I wasn't actually going to share this particular dream because I've had so many. And when I opened my diary, I was going, oh, there are some good dreams here. But when I was mentioning to Alberto, my husband, I was saying to him, hey, I'm thinking about, I'm not sure what dream to talk about. And he says, oh, yeah, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And then he says to me, hey, do you know what? They're starting to put on Netflix, they now have Star Trek Voyager. And I know I'm a Star Trek fan, I will admit, the original series, Next Generation. I started watching Voyager, and I liked a few episodes, but I just didn't have the time to actually sit and commit to it as a series. And so I left it. And when I heard that, I thought, okay, maybe this is the dream that I am going to share with you. And so here it goes. I'm not going to read it directly from my diary, but this is essentially what was happening. So we had just arrived in Cyprus, and the dream that I had is that I am in a big hall, in a big kind of auditorium setting, with seating that goes down towards a big stage. And the auditorium is filled with hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And there are many speakers that are in the front, on the podium, on the stage, speaking about many different topics about how to create the world that we want to see, how to create peace and how to create change in the world. And I am standing at the back of this auditorium with two women, very powerful women. I didn't fully see the face of one, but she was definitely someone who had a lot of confidence and a lot of presence. And the other person who was standing beside me was Captain Janeway, captain of the Voyager on that Star Trek series. And we're together, and we are as a group. And the one with the strong personality, not Janeway, says to me that this is a whole waste of money and a whole waste of time to support all of these speakers when they just don't get really what it is that needs to be done to create all this change in the world. And so we all together head down towards the stage area, and she asks the next speaker and says to him, can I come up on the stage and can I say a few words? And so the speaker lets her come on stage. And so this woman comes on stage. I'm not far from the stage. I'm just down in the audience. And she begins to speak. And she says that none of these solutions, none of the promises that these individuals are making can really work if you do not have faith. If you don't have faith in yourself, if you don't have faith in life, the universe, if you don't follow your dreams, and if you don't believe in what it is that you're doing. Now, at the same time, down in the rest of the hallway, Captain Janeway is there cheering and hollering, and yeah, that's right. And she starts to clap her hands, and she starts to dance, to say, yeah, this is what we need to do. We need to have faith. We need to believe. And so I start to join her, and we're singing and we're dancing and we're clapping and we're hooting and hollering. And then other people who are in the auditorium also start to do the same thing. So before you know it, we had a big part of this auditorium, people standing up and saying, yes, that's the key. You need to believe. You need to follow your dreams. You need to have faith. And the speaker who's on stage says that we all have a symbol that we need to remember. And this is the symbol that we need to remember. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. It's a spiral. And she says, she actually gave it a name. And I don't remember the name in the dream. I didn't write it down. But I did do the symbol. And the spiral is a very powerful symbol for me. It was my symbol to say to me, before you can go outward, you need to go inward. And when you are grounded in this inner belief about who you are, when you believe in your dreams, when you have strong faith in the fact that you know you are not walking alone and that there is a great love that is with you in every single moment, there to guide your steps, to guide your words, to guide whatever your actions are in the world. When you have faith in that, when you are grounded in this beautiful energy called love, then when you go out into the world, the top part of the spiral, it will manifest in the world as well as more powerful action. And this is what you need to have faith in, not simply in your actions, which are good and they are powerful and they'll have results, but action that is grounded in love, in a consciousness of love, in a consciousness of light, is action that is infinitely multiplied by what is the universe. And so that was my dream. And it is something that has stayed with me to this day. And it is an integral part of my, not only of my personal beliefs, but it is how I move in the world. It is what I share. It impregnates everything that I do. Not to say that it was easy to get to this place of having faith in those words, and I still struggle with believing these words that I am saying sometimes in my lowest moments, and having confidence in that this is the way for me to create change in the world, is to have faith in this beautiful energy called love. And to bring that forward into the world. That continues to be my personal journey and the message that I bring to the world. Now, I see that there are 2 other people who are trying to join us, so I'll take a very quick look here to see who is with us. Well, let's see. I'm going to try and connect them if we can, and if we can't, well, then I'm afraid our time here will be finished today. We'll try it one more time. And let's see if they're able to join us today. We'll try one more time. And by the way, I still continue to watch Star Trek Voyager. It is now on Netflix, and it is something that I quite enjoy. I quite enjoy watching, and obviously I see it with new eyes. And the character of Captain Janeway as being a very powerful, very symbolic figure of having courage. They're voyagers, they're explorers, they're pilgrims. Really, they're exploring outer space, but really they're also exploring inner space. And so it's something that makes me smile every time that I think of it, especially in light of the stream that I shared with you today. So I want to thank you all for listening to this episode of the Pilgrim Story Hour, and invite you to join me next time as I explore another topic on this wonderful pilgrimage that we all share called life. Thanks again, and buen camino.